Hey, so I wanted to give you guys an update. Unfortunately, he's not rolling yet. He doesn't have his tires on. The tires are sitting next to me, patiently waiting to be mounted. Unfortunately, I'm waiting on a final test of the motors. I thought I had them synchronized. The way I was going about it, it's not ideal. And basically what's happening is the one or two of the motors, depending on how you look at it, are not finishing their program at the exact same moment. So you have, for example, one motor or two motors that are going through like another half rotation or something like that, whereas the other two or the other three, depending, have completed. So obviously, if I mount the tires and actually place them on the ground and anyway, you get the idea. Basically, it's not going to be ideal. Half a rotation or whatever of the motor shaft, it's not a huge deal, but at the same time, I kind of want to make the first test as good as I can make it. So that's kind of where I am. I can give you an update. Let me show you ROVer. So there's ROVer. Yeah, he's patiently waiting for his motors. He's looking awesome. As you can see, we've got the ultrasonic sensors on each of his forward legs. We've got the IR sensor on his nose there. Right now there's a few scattered wires. So I was saying, yeah, so he's sitting pretty, he's waiting. So there it is. Unfortunately, he's waiting. In the meantime, I did want to show you guys something really cool that I did on ROVer's site and, of course, in his programming. So let me show you that. So here we are on ROVer's website, and we're in the activity logs for today. Today's Saturday, October 22nd. And as you can see, there's been lots of activity, and it gets more interesting than, for example, yesterday's activity. So if I don't have the button here, but let me show you. What was the code? Yeah, so here, for example, we've got the logs for yesterday, for Friday, and you can see that they're all kind of drive forward commands. Here we got our first test of a turn, a few reverse commands, but it's a lot more interesting today because what we've got are programs, and basically programs are a series of commands. So in this case, for example, this program, and I haven't named them because these are just kind of testing programs, but this program, for example, has 3 commands within it. So this one was, for example, turn right, then stop the motors, and then turn left. And each one has its details. But that's kind of what I was really excited to do, because of course it's more interesting to see a robot ROVer do something in concession, in series, than kind of doing one thing at a time. Ultimately, he's still going to do one thing at a time. It's a matter of battery conservation, but this is pretty cool. So for example, if we go over to his command center, instead of doing an individual drive command, we can do this. So just have this startup one. And if I send that over to ROVer, it'll appear here in the logs, and you can see that they're all pending. I don't have ROVer on at the moment, but if I load his Android tablet brain, that'll at least, for example, fetch the first command. So you can see that that one just became fetched. The other 2 are still pending. And that's as quick as it is. I've also changed the timing. I am excited about that stuff. So unfortunately, I have no choice but to wait on that final test. I suppose I don't have to wait, but I want to wait. But yeah, in the meantime, I've definitely been productive, and ROVer's made great progress. So when it does come time to actually doing those first drive tests. I'll be able to send him, a program, a series of commands rather than just, drive forward X number of feet or whatever. Actually, speaking of which, I'm really excited about testing what sort of, distance equates to what real life distance. Measuring everything in terms of, ticks on the encoders for the motors. But in reality, of course, it has to do with the size of the tires and how much ground they cover with each rotation of the motor. So I'm really curious to find out, what his real world kind of speed is. If I haven't done the math, and I suppose I could calculate it, but I don't know. It'll be more interesting to pull out the tape measure and actually find out how far he covers in a given amount of, with a given amount of speed. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you are as well, thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned. Cheers.